Welcome to the DaChop Team. I'm your host, Seth the Dart Child.
I'm your host, twinsinc.
Our show is about two guys and any friends that happen to come over with a topic that we want to chop up.
This is our Barbershop style podcast. We discuss it all. If the fellas at the shop will go in on it, we will. Let's chop it up. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How you doing today?
What's up, fellas? How y'all out there doing? Welcome to another wonderful day at the barbershop. Time to get that shape up on, get that line, put a little color on your cheeks, cause hey, we gonna chop it up and you gonna enjoy your cut.
All right, we good, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for a little delay here. We just want to make sure that the audio sounds good. We had some audio issues a couple weeks ago. That's why we haven't had video. So we're gonna have it together pretty soon. But we got the sound check and we got it good now. We verified it on YouTube. I'm listening to it right now. We clear. It's recording. So we back up in this. I know we've been gone for a minute, but you know, life happens.
It does.
A new year.
Better year. This is going to be a better year.
Yeah, definitely. Better year, new year, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Life happens. But listen, we still here. We still chopping it up. Let's not be clear. Let's be very clear. Yep. We're still chopping things up, okay?
For life. This is what we do for you. Even if y'all don't appreciate it yet.
Key word, yet. Hey, it may not hit today, may not hit tomorrow,
but
may hit in a couple years, but someone's going to hear it and be like, man, this brother was talking about something back in 2023 now.
Exactly. And then like, oh, we listened to that older stuff, and some of it was off the rails, which it was. But some of it was on point.
A lot was on point. I mean, leave it does it. We think all was on point, but hey, we know we ain't perfect. We know something could be
exactly.
You know.
But yeah, well, for 2023, once again, this is a better. We're back to the focus on the men. We done separated our barbershop from the beauty salon. We back to just fellas in the barbershop. If you don't identify as male, it's probably not the spot for you. But all people are welcome to get the haircut. Just keep your opinions at the door.
I mean, eyebrows, mustaches, you know, you can still get that done. I'm sorry. Let me stop.
Eyebrows? I don't know. We do eyebrows over here.
No, I'm talking about for, because, you know.
I mean, my cousin did shave it off all the way off one time. They ain't look right for a minute.
Don't mind me. Don't. All right, let's get to this topic here. So let's, ladies and gentlemen, so the topic we're having today is hard to be a BM in America. Now, most people probably thinking off the rip, we're talking about baby mamas. No, we're not. We're talking about the black man. Mm-hmm. And, you know, me as a black man, Seth the Dark Child as a black man, we have experienced, I mean, of course, I'm sure he experienced racism. I know I have experienced racism, right? Hands down. Mm-hmm. But on top of those barriers, we still have to deal with the daily base of trying to maintain our blackness and keep it at certain tones. Mm-hmm. You know, definitely the tone. The tone is the big piece. It's how you say things and, you know, your tone. Or, you know, if you're passionate about something, people get that confused with
anger and
upset when you're passionate about, you know, you're adamant, you're excited about what you're saying. Everything doesn't have to be everything that come out of a black man's mouth doesn't have to be as negative or scary tone to X, Y, Z. And I get it because that's how this media out there has painted as black men, that we are feared. You know, we're super thugs. I know it's old, but back in the 90s, that was the narrative being pushed. Black men are super thugs. We're superhuman. We're superheroes. We do so much. You know, you think about it. When you look at sports, in most sports, being dominant is most of the time is black men. Mm-hmm. Basketball. I mean, if you look at basketball back in the day, it used to be all a bunch of white boys, but now it's done by a bunch of black men.
Like what 85% of the NBA is black.
You know, it was all layups and jump shots. Now you got guys jumping from the foul line, doing 360s in the middle of the game.
And you know, it's really weird for me being once again in the black community. We're gonna stay on sports for now. Isn't it absolutely amazing when you look at some of these football players, right? These guys is 200-300 pounds of raw, uncut muscle and testosterone. But because they are black, they still have to try to moderate their tone. They can't come out. They could come out and just exemplify that animal masculinity, even though they literally just got finished throwing around somebody else on the gridiron for hours.
I mean, even think about this. Lamar Jackson, in college, he played quarterback. He was very phenomenal at Louisiana as a quarterback. But during his draft and going through his combine, they was telling me, hey, man, you should go be a receiver. No, I'm a quarterback.
No,
this is what I've been playing my whole career in college and whatever. Now, granted, high school don't count because we all play multiple positions until you find your niche. But in college, he was a quarterback. Very good statistics, but doesn't matter. They still trying to push that narrative. Say, hey, man, why don't you play receiver? You fast, you're athletic. Hey, why throw the ball?
Well, part of that is a long-standing unwritten rule in the NFL that they don't really want. Wait, I'm not gonna say they don't want. The face of a team in the NFL,
preach,
is white.
The quarterback.
I mean, the quarterback is the face of the NFL, and a lot of times when they put a black character person up as quarterback in the NFL, they also take the chance on allowing in that particular baggage that comes with being a black male in this country. Let's say Colin Kaepernick, outstanding quarterback, but his views didn't fit quote unquote mainstream America. He didn't say and do what they wanted him to do. What they do to that man at the height of his career, he's out. Think about that. Did he go to the Super Bowl once and went to the playoffs twice?
Yeah.
Height of his career. He was only in the league for like 4 or 5 years.
Phenomenal.
And then because he decided to take a knee, he's out. Right? But that's because he was black. No white quarterback felt the need to take a knee because that's not the white experience in America. So it's hard to be black in America. And if you stand up for anything, they will knock you down. And it doesn't matter where you're at. You want to run this right now on that segue?
Yep. And since we're on football right now, we're going to bring up an interaction that happened between a black host by the name of Shannon Sharp. We call him Shay, Uncle Shay. Shannon Sharp, and then Skip Bellis.
On their show, Undisputed.
Undisputed. I mean, I guess it's a free plug. Per se, but hey, if I'm plugging it, I'm plugging it for Shannon Sharp, not for Skip. But I want you guys to hear the conversation of how it goes.
Yeah,
and this conversation is on the heels of the incident with Mr. Damar Hamlin getting hurt on the Monday nights. 2 Mondays ago, he got injured. He's alive. He's doing well. He's out the hospital, breathing on his own. Glory to the God. I mean, it is Sunday, so amen to that. For believers or non-believers, hey, still a miracle. I'm claiming it. I'm happy he's alive. I'm happy he's breathing. And I'll keep getting better and get back playing football or staying healthy and retire. Whatever it may be. I'm happy for the young man he's alive because it was traumatizing. But what happened was he got hurt. Skip made an insensitive tweet that same night. And Mr. Shannon Sharp, he's a former NFL player, Hall of Famer, 3-time Super Bowl champ. So it happened Monday night, and based on Skip's conversation, he decided not to go on and work on Tuesday, right? And then as you hear the clip I'm about to play, he kind of goes in a little bit on why he didn't come in on Monday. But then I want you to pay attention to the dialogue that the black man and the white man have, because these are two grown men, one's black, one's white, and just listen and see how it goes. Once again, I'm going to play it, and we can chop it afterwards. 1 second here. Bear with me.
Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting.
Okay.
Well, you could have came back, Skip. Well, I thought, Skip, just let. I was just going to say, Skip, I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting. Okay.
I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanation. So clearly,
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Thoughts and prayers remain with Damar Hamlin.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you heard that short clip. Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on there. But here's the problem, right? At the beginning of each show, each host of the show has their first couple minutes to go over whatever they're going to talk about, right? Mm-hmm. They're building up their points, they're telling X, Y, their monologue, and then they go over the story, then they debate. Each person has the opportunity to say what they want to say. Mm-hmm. As you can hear, he couldn't even get through his opening monologue as far as why he wasn't there. He said, hey, you know, I want to address everyone in the world why I did not come in. You know, I felt that, you know, the tweet that Skip posted yesterday, you know, I wasn't, you know, I didn't agree to what he's saying. I wish he would take it down. As he stood right there, stop right there. That man cut him off and said, no, I'm not taking it down. Mm-hmm. I didn't ask you to take it. Well, I said, I hope you take it down. But that wasn't a question directed to you. I just said, I hope you take it down. That still didn't warrant you to jump in a conversation and say, well, I'm not going to take it down. Mm-hmm. Now, once again, here's the privilege cut in at, right? If these were two men outside having the same conversation the same way, as soon as he did cut him off, he would have got checked just right then and there. Right when he said, I ain't going to take it down, and what you mean going to take it down? And the conversation would have been far left. Mm-hmm. But as a black man on national TV and with Cooper America, he got to swallow his pride there and not respond how he wanted, or maybe how he responded out. We all want him to respond, because I know me personally, I respond a different way. I wouldn't care if I was at work or not. You know, as a man, if you like what I say, we can go outside. We can go to the break room. What you want to do? Mm-hmm. I took it straight there. And that might be...
And I want to add,
yes.
You free to disagree. We're not saying you have to agree with me, but you want to be disrespectful, we don't play... A real man, that disrespect will get you knocked out.
And thank you said that part there. Because it's not about him disagreeing, ladies and gentlemen. It's the fact it's called the disrespect. Mm-hmm. Lack of respect. Respectful would have been him to let him finish what he had to say, complete his sentence, his monologue, and once he's finished, then I'll chime in and say, hey, I'm not taking it down. Cool. At that point, we can have a back and forth conversation. But the fact you cut me off in the middle of my sentence while I'm still talking shows me a disrespect, a woman trait, because as men, men don't talk to men that way. That's not how men have this conversation when we have debates. If Ed's talking about something, I'm going to let him finish. If I get excited, I come out, I might say, oh, my bad, bro, go ahead, continue. My bad, I didn't even cut you off, go ahead. Because I'm so passionate to have a conversation with him or debate with him, but I'm not to the point where I'm trying to disrespect him at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And that was not a debate they were having. That was pure uncut disrespect. So I'm sorry. I just want to emphasize.
No, you're good. No, you're good.
So here, and what he was saying was like, I'm not going to take it out. That his position was like line in the sand. He said it in a way that invited me to do something.
Woo.
But here's the crux of the show today. When it's hard to be a black man in America, he felt confident saying it the way he said, knowing that there were no repercussions.
Say that again.
He felt confident saying it the way he said it and the tone he said it, even at the time that he said it, knowing that he would not face any repercussions. And it's funny, I'm gonna say this. They like to point that out and say that in a civilized world, this is how you do it, right? But the truth of the matter is that was quite uncivilized. The way that he did it was disrespectful. But if Shannon Sharp had responded in anything other than, I'm gonna say what, capitulation, what are the ramifications for his response? Oh, he's a thug. He shouldn't have been doing. He was wrong to hit somebody. We're gonna talk about this in a little bit. I think I'm gonna say some stuff that I hope don't get us in trouble. But it's hard to be a black man and not be allowed to defend yourself from verbal attacks, to maintain your own self-respect, and not even be able to retaliate verbally properly in a lot of situations and still maintain everything that you've worked for. There's consequences for not towing the party line that not everybody has to pay but us. So that being said,
And also, still continuing with the same conversation, also not monologue. Skip said no one had a problem with what he has said, but if you watched the show the day before, he said very out of his own mouth that I got a text or call either from the executive saying, "Hey, you might want to re-clarify what you meant in your statement in your tweet." Because some people are taking it the wrong way, or XYZ, right? Which everybody had the right to take it the wrong way, which they did. Mm-hmm. And he even said that on the show. So then to come back to say that, oh, no one had a problem with that. Whoa. So you're going to lie on your whole network to protect yourself? The need to feel right.
Yep.
He had to, he couldn't own up what he said. My bad. I was wrong. I misquoted. My apologies. And since it, whatever. But no. Mm-hmm. What he wanted to do is want to prove his point that he was right what he's saying, and he's, air quote, I stand on without post, as if he is ready for the repercussions that come with it, right?
But then again, he's white. And I said it, and I said it. He's white. What repercussions?
No, because he has not been canceled.
Nope.
He hasn't even been suspended.
Nope.
He even had he didn't even issue a real apology.
Nope.
Like when these black hosts mess up, Stephen A. and whoever else make a mistake, they got to spend a good hour long or half an hour going through a monologue and apologizing, and then on top of apologizing, get fined. And after getting fined, they got to take these training classes about insensitivity, about this race, XYZ, all this stuff. Don't forget we had Nick Cannon who had to take off 6 months, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
For a topic he talked about in his own podcast show. But anyway, Kyrie, you see what happened to him? Like, if you're a black man and you say something that the masses don't like, you have to issue an apology, you have to get suspended, you have to lose millions of dollars. But if you're the opposite race, and an example was provided, which is Skip, he's a white man, he can say whatever you want to say with no repercussions.
Yep.
That poor boy, at that moment, 1 second, on the field, my life for that 9 minutes, because anytime they got to offer CPR to you, that means you can't breathe on your own. That means you died. That means your body shut down completely. And the only way for you to survive is that somebody got to pump your chest and blow some air in your mouth so you can breathe. Go ahead, Seth.
No, that's it. And once again, because we are still. This is when I say it's hard, and I don't want to. Hold on. First off, for any ladies out there, I don't want to minimize the suffering that black women or women of color. No, forget that. Black women. We're not going to minimize the suffering that it's hard to be black in America.
Facts.
Period. Black men and women. But it's in my opinion, and I think I could prove it, it's harder to be a black man in America.
And also, too, you got to factor in this too, ladies. And it's when you have your things that are going on in your world and you come home and tell your husband, your boyfriend, we have to sit there and we have to listen to that and we have to absorb that, right? But it ain't the same on the other way around, right?
No, it's not.
Because then it becomes a weapon for us.
Well,
not weapon for us, weapon for you. Like if we say my boss XYZ, then when you get mad about something, all of a sudden that comes out like, oh, you little punk, you let your boss do this to you. You see how it becomes a weapon? Yeah. So we keep it to ourselves. But what I'm saying that on top of dealing with your struggles as a black woman, because we do understand you have struggles in the world as far as being a black woman in America, we take on that and we have to bear that. On top of bearing with our everyday stress as a black man in America as well. So we have to hold on to all those things, not just and we really don't have a release unless we go to a psychiatrist. And
now we're going to start talking. I'm going to add media to it, so I don't want to take it down to a granular level like I have something to say. But what happened to wasn't it Robert Kraft, the Patriots
owner
that got accused of?
Yes.
What was his consequences?
$1 million, little slap on the wrist, and that was it.
What about Jerry Jones? Didn't Jerry Jones say some rude stuff once?
I mean, he always say something, but I don't think he got nothing. So
okay, but what happened to Kanye when he said something? They took $2 billion out this man's pocket,
froze his account, stopped his music, all that.
Yeah, can't even prove he did. I mean, whether he did something or not, he said something offensive. They pretty much tried to cancel his whole career. Even even back in the day with Ice Cube, when they were trying to pin the anti-Semitic, is that the word, title on him about some of the things he said, and he did say them. But they really tried to counsel Ice Cube for that recently because of what Kanye said. Ice Cube had said what he said
decades
ago. But let Kanye say something, all of a sudden Ice Cube just is guilty today. Right? What was that? Who was that? Who else was it? Kyrie? Is he
Kyrie Irving.
Is he even playing again yet?
He's playing again. And mind you, he didn't say no words. Mm-hmm. He just posted a tweet and a link to Amazon where you can buy the book.
Exactly.
And this man lost. He got Nike canceled. Nike
canceled though, folks. Canceled.
Broke his contract
because he said. But once again, this is black men in America. It's hard. These are just public figures. But let's do the math.
Oh, see.
And like I said, we always like to do. I don't want to say that y'all need to have a victim mentality, because you shouldn't. You gotta stand up and weather the storm. But you'd also be remiss in acting like this storm isn't happening, right? Look at the black incarceration rate. I'm not here to argue today, because we will do it at one point, and we have did it in the past. It ain't even about what caused us to be in jail. Mm-hmm. It's about the fact that over 80% of everybody who is incarcerated has my complexion. I'm black, by the way, so y'all know.
Seth Darchild.
Okay. In jail, is incarcerated, is black. The used to be, up until recently, the most unemployed person in the country is a black male. Could you explain why black people who only make up the working age black male in this country, it can't be more than, if we lucky, 12 million working age black men in this country. How come as a percentage of our total population, we are the most unemployed group of people? You can't justify that by there's nothing statistically capable of justifying that percentage rate of unemployed, unless there's something actively working against me as a black man. Agree, disagree, up to you. But you got to accept it, right? I actually hear all the time. I actually had a conversation recently. With a young lady, and she tried to tell me that it was just as hard, even for her, to be a black woman in America. And I'm like, no, it's bad for you, but it ain't the same level. We were watching the movie Devotion. Has Jonathan Majors, the dude playing Cain the Conqueror. He was a pilot. He was a black pilot in the Navy during the Korean War. There was a scene in one of the bathrooms. Okay, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert. There was a scene in one of the bathrooms on the ship where he was looking at himself in the mirror, and he was saying some of the worst, vilest stuff he had ever heard. He had to call himself nigga. You're a failure. You're a poor man. You'll never get this. We gonna make you fail. He was recounting stuff to
motivate him.
Not just motivate. See, that's the other part.
Okay.
Not motivate. He was building up armor mentally to deal with the pressures that came with being a black man in the military.
That's true.
They didn't want him there. They tried to fail him. They tried to hurt him. They tried to sabotage him. They told him whatever they needed to. No matter how good he was, they still tried. He had to
jump through hoops.
He had to basically hit himself with bullets to toughen himself up to deal with what everyone else was throwing at him. And my girl, I was talking to her and we were watching it, and she was like, why is he doing that? I'm like, what do you mean why he's doing that? Because if me and you, sister, are in the same struggle, you knew why he was doing that. I shouldn't have had to explain that. She
didn't see his struggle as a struggle compared to her struggle.
Once again, and we're not going to go there, but
no,
I'm just saying that. So I explained to her, I have had to do similar things to that, not to that level like he was doing all dramatized. But I know that I have to pull twice the weight, if not more, to get half the credit. And this is corporate America in 2022. I still feel the need to overperform just to keep from somebody saying something negative about me or damaging my career. And I still don't know if it's effective. But I know that I don't get to make the same number of mistakes as my coworker does. I don't get to be insubordinate in a meeting and say something smart to upper management that I've seen, not just know that I've seen my coworker get away with, right?
Yes.
I don't get to do that. I don't get to make jokes with Karen in accounting, right? Because the joke that he said to Karen, I felt was inappropriate. Karen just laughed, and this ain't about relative looks or nothing like that. I'm like, yo, you can't say stuff like that. But he said it. Now, could I have said it? Yes. As a black man in America, was it in my best interest to say it?
No.
And we have to think about this all the time. So we all know this, black men. We know this. But it becomes concrete when you hear it. What you think in your head, it's not just you. It's all of us. It's hard to be us in this country. And it takes somebody like Shannon Sharp, Colin Kaepernick, Kanye West, Kyrie Irving. It takes them to pay a price to remind us that we don't have it good in this country. We still have it better. And the worst part about it, I'm going to shut up for half a second and breathe. We still have it better than 99% of all the other black people on the planet. Do the math on that. Bad as it is, it could be worse. This black men, we gonna have to figure out some way to do better. And I ain't talking about for them.
For us.
For us.
For our mental.
Yeah. I mean, once again, it ain't about, and I'm saying this, that you are acknowledged. We black men, this is our year. We're done with that. We ain't trying to convince our women to love us no more. We ain't even trying to convince the greater society to accept us anymore. We ain't trying to, most of us who listening to this podcast ain't the same ones who's buying these current rap albums. The people who listening to this are probably the people who can afford to be somewhere else. And that movement, and it's a movement, it's changing us. It's hard to be a black man in America, but you know what? Black men, black men in America, you guys are superstars on the world stage. Everybody loves you outside of this country. Well, not everybody, but a good chunk.
Right. You got to make sure you go to the right places. But yes, we are loved when we are away from the United States. So you can definitely find love away from home. Yeah,
and it ain't just that. Think about this, black men. Once again, this is all about we uplifting black men this year. We're not trying to reach out to the lovely ladies and try to get them to understand us no more. We're not trying to get.
Well, they don't care anyway. So yeah,
and we're not even trying to get the American media. I don't even care what NBC, ABC, Fox. I don't care what they say about black men no more. What's the point? They were never gonna love us. You know what does count is when you can go to work every day, keep your head down, because that's what you got to do. Don't rock the boat and get that paycheck every 2 weeks. Every week, every 2 weeks, whenever you get paid.
And granted, no, you shouldn't have to do that. I agree.
You should.
Nope. No. But let's be realistic. All of us can't be entrepreneurs. Some of us have to work to help the entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
Just call it what it is. If every black man became an entrepreneur, then we wouldn't have no businesses. Because
who's gonna buy? Where are you gonna get it from?
Because we men don't spend money like that. So,
well, here's what in my utopian idea. All black men, we got to do a couple of different things. I'm not an economist, so I'm gonna leave some things out. But we need to learn how to make and build. This means that if I had it my way, there's a certain group of people that we need to learn how to do electrical work, plumbing, masonry. You got to be able to build something. We need carpenters. but you also need men who understand logistics and can set up transportation industries. You also need people who can manage those, right? We have all those things. We just have it separate, working in different groups, right? It's hard to be here with us, but this is where the money's at. If all of us became entrepreneurs, none of us would know how to build nothing. If all of us became truck drivers, we wouldn't know how to lay pipe, do plumbing.
I think laying pipe is something come natural to most men, so we ain't worry about that part.
Fellas, but once again, I'm going somewhere that we need to figure out what we need to do for ourselves in this particular space, the Black manosphere. I would like to say that we adjacent to it. I would love to be a full-fledged member of it. But, as a Black manosphere, this community is coming together. Something's growing here. And as long as we stay together and stay strong, there's going to be some positive outcomes because it's already being felt. America feels it. It's hard to be a Black man in America. And we said that earlier. America feels it when a dude making $60K a year, instead of trying to date, get married, buy a house, buy a car, when you making $60 a year and you take 3,000-4,000 of that and you fly your butt to Thailand, or you fly yourself to the Philippines, or you fly yourself to Brazil, they feel that $4,000 leaving the economy, going into those other people's economy. They feel it. The women's feel it. They feel it when Davis Bridal went out of business. Babies R Us went out of business. The birth rate in America is dropping like a very, very hot potato, fresh out the oven, and you grabbed it with your bare hand. The birth rate is dropping quick, and they feel it. They feel it when we don't participate in churches anymore. We're not even going to jail like we used to. They actually have to try to put a brother in jail now, because the most of us, we done learned that selling that stuff on the corner is stupid, and we done aged out from that. We're not doing the violent crimes. You need to go check out the FBI statistics on crime in America. You'll see that most Black men on the whole done pulled all the way back from that. It's still a percentage of us, and they catch 90% of those on the news in the evening. But for the vast majority of us, we don't do that no more. We're not robbing liquor stores. We're not hanging on the corner. We're not staying out at the clubs. And the ones who are doing it, once again, the 5% of Black men who are doing the most absolute ridiculous stuff all seem to end up on the news. But 95% of us ain't playing those games. 60% of us, straight middle class Black men, going to work every day, trying to keep their head, stay alive, and we moving on up and we moving on out, and they notice it. It's hard to be a Black man in America, but Black man in America, you have the opportunity to be great, and people are noticing it. Don't stop what you're doing.
I'm gonna match this because like the number you just gave out, all the people is get locked up or in jail, XYZ, right? Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a personal question, because I never been in jail.
Okay.
How about you?
I was a teenager.
Well, I was a teenager. So what happened?
The records are sealed, but I grew up in the projects. You do what you got to do to make money.
Got you. So now, granted, that didn't hinder you from getting a corporate job.
Well,
I mean, regardless, we're right now. We're in corporate America right now.
Okay. No. I got locked up at like 15 years old for fighting.
Okay.
So I did some things I'm not proud of, but the one time I did get locked up, we were fighting. It was physical. No weapons were drawn, but
right.
They put the handcuffs on you, took you to jail, and made your mama come.
So I should have phrased that differently, because a lot of people fighting.
I just want to let it wasn't no crazy.
Right.
It was straight up assault, and I didn't jump. No, we were fighting. It was a lot of us.
Trust me. Yeah. No. Trust me. I'm pretty sure. If they smell to call the cop, I've been locked up too, but nothing major. It's been fighting.
It was fighting. I
mean, that's something that most men do. But the point I'm trying to make is, I've never been in jail for anything legal, felony type of nothing crazy. No drugs, kill nobody, no DUIs, nothing like that. And basically what Seth said, he has neither. He might have been in a fight. We all been in a fight. We just didn't get arrested. Some get arrested, some don't. But the point I'm trying to make is that the last thing he was saying were those type of men that he's referring to. Keep the head straight, head down, and trying to get things rolling and trying to survive in this world called, try to survive in this place called the United States. Because it ain't bad all over the world, but we're going to focus here because we'll be here.
But we're doing so much. You know what? Okay, you know what? And I'm a brush, but when I say that I did bad things, I've been there. I've had a gun put in my face 2 different times. I've been robbed at gunpoint 2 different times. I've been attacked for no reason. I've dived out of some bedroom windows. I mean, I'm just saying.
Listen, you lived. Once again, we all live. We all go through the trenches, and you survived.
Well, no, all of this is before 18.
Trust me, I know.
So,
a gun. Listen, a gun was never put on me, but it was put on my twin brother. And if you're brothers and sisters, you're around each other. So it happened to him, happened to me because I was there. I didn't run. He didn't run. So it was like,
exactly.
He gets shot. Guess what? I guess I'm going to get shot. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not leading my brother. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Exactly.
So, right. So trust me, I grew up in the projects. Well, I seen stuff, been around stuff. And, luckily I survived it. Didn't do drugs. Not been on drugs. Didn't get shot. None of that stuff. But once again, you go through those things. And I like, you know what? I'm like we're talking about right now. Because Corporate America people, y'all need to understand this stuff right here. We don't carry these things or hold on to these things as a badge and honor, right? So, the reason I said it because...
Wait. I want to clarify.
Oh, maybe you do.
I got to interrupt.
Good.
For a long time, I probably did. Because street cred, I was there. But now I realize it's not. But for a long time, up until 25, 26, it probably was a badge of honor. I'm not going to lie.
I'm with you on that to a certain extent. What I'm saying is that you mature and grow out of that, right? So, no. You no longer carry that on your shoulder like, I'm the man. I've been in the streets. The point I'm trying to make with that statement, even what you're just saying as well, once we're in corporate America and we're going down the narrow, straight line, right, trying to do what's right in America, and you get people like the Skip dude who want to disrespect you, and you might have a flashback like, what? Not that you want to go back there, but the nerve, like, just because I'm in this corporate America doesn't mean I'm not about that life. Not saying I will go back to that life, but I don't deal well with disrespect.
What I want to add to that. What I want to add. Here's the.
I wish the viewers were because you can saw his face, ladies and gentlemen.
Here's the fire part about what you just said. It ain't about I'm not about that life. It's about the fact that you sitting across from me, and I'm saying this the same way women say things to men in relationships a lot because they are 99% sure there are no consequences for their actions. Now, the one thing about street cred, doing the things I did, you know what it taught me?
What it taught you?
There are consequences for your actions.
I agree. I totally agree.
So
yes.
Here's the thing. When I got robbed, was I somewhere I shouldn't have been in the first place? One time I was. All right? I shouldn't have even been there in the first place. When I was fighting, was that even my fight? No, it wasn't even my fight because I was with my friends. It wasn't even my fight. I got in trouble for something that wasn't even my fight. Anything, 90% of my adventures.
He call them adventures, lady, because they are adventures. The life stories.
Yeah.
Listen, if you're a black man and you survived your early age and be in corporate America, you have stories and you call them adventures because you look back like, I shouldn't be here right now.
Oh. I shouldn't even laugh.
Yeah, I shouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, it's moments.
But good, feel what you're saying. I'm going to cut you off, but that's what the adventure is, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, but once again, and we've talked about respect a lot in the past.
Yes.
But even if did Kanye do something wrong and he deserved what came to him? Absolutely. But think about this. There's a TV show on Netflix called Dahmer. They showed Jeffrey Dahmer, right? And his story, right? You know, shortly after being put in jail, they put him in general population.
Right.
After he got, and they pretty much killed him. I mean, in Gen Pop, they knew he was going to, we all knew, we as a black man, if you go to jail for certain things, you might not serve out your time because certain crimes, the criminals inside will punish you for them. It ain't no really nice way to say it. I'm going to say pedos, those guys. Can I say that? No.
Yeah.
Okay, pedos. A lot of those pedos, they have a hard time serving their time. A lot of them end up having accidents inside, right? Jeffrey Dahmer, for what he did, he had an accident inside. But when you watch his Netflix series, they try to make you have sympathy as if he didn't deserve
what happened to him.
What happened to him, even though me and you as a black man and everyone listening, we know there are consequences for your actions. If I do something, I'm going to be punished for it. But when Skip did something, what was his punishment? And he said what he said to Shannon Sharp with full knowledge that there was nothing Shannon Sharp could do about it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Even up to and including the average stuff that we talked about earlier. If you say something out of pocket, we might end up in the parking lot. You say something out of pocket right now, and I'll see you when we get off shift because I need my job, but one of us need to get knocked down to the ground. He knew that was never happening. Why? What gave him the armor to know he would never have to pay for the consequences of his words?
The privilege in corporate America.
Oh, no. The privilege of his particular skin tone, probably.
Because definitely, you know what? You're right.
And the same for the women in our lives. We're gonna put that on the table. Your girl has said things to you that would get another person knocked clean unconscious. All you can do is grin and bear it. We've stopped grinning and bearing it, black men. When we were talking about earlier, get your money and go get your passports. We don't grin and bear it no more. We gave up. If I can't discipline you, if I can't control you, if I can't guide you, then I'll just leave you alone. And the whole world is noticing that a lot of black men, most of y'all who actually can afford to do it, we stop. We said it last week, and I'm going to say it again. War games. The only way to win is to not play the game. And this is another example of why Shannon Sharp should quit this show.
Actually, he should have just walked off.
He should have walked off.
When, like I said, when he started doing his monologue conversation and dude cut him off, he said, you know what? Mm-hmm. This is not healthy for me. I just would have walked off. And since we're back on our subject again about them two, I actually have another video that we're going to play. Okay. Now, this video, this interaction they had happened maybe 2 to 3 weeks prior to the Damar Hamlin incident. Okay. So this is where like it kind of started of their work relationship being toxic or like,
it's getting toxic.
This is not a good, healthy work environment place that these two be in because the disrespect level is shifting. I don't know what changed. I don't know. Maybe if Shannon's getting more popular on the show and Skip is not, and people now calling the Shannon show. I don't know what it is, but something's shifting, and then there's the energy that Skip's getting off now is like, wow. Like, do we need to go outside in the back or go in the freezer or something? Like, do we need to talk? What's really going on? Because they used to be like, hey, brother, how you doing? You know, side bets. And before, hey, man, good morning, Pound. How you doing? Let's get into it. You know, how about them Cowboys? You know, like guys do it every Monday. I don't care who we are. Every guy doing football says on Monday, they're going to work. They team win. They got a smile on their face. They got friends who work with them. They might be Cowboys fans, Falcon fans, Miami fans. We go in the room. We see people, hey, man, how y'all do? Meanwhile, you know they get that blew out, but it's always that conversation there, right? So that's what their dynamic is. But here's a video that happened maybe 2 to 3 weeks prior to this incident, okay? So listen to it. And I'm going to be stopping this one here in between because the first video was on Instagram.
Let's focus.
We're going to chop this one up too. So give me 1 second.
This. Tom Brady had a problem. You said Tom Brady should have had a problem with Byron after Tom Brady and Byron Leftwich comes up with a game plan, and here's a guy that was not in the meeting when they came up with it, come in with his red pen scratching out stuff.
Yep.
Now Tom Brady is not up, because most coaches and NFL coaches work between 80 and 100 hours in a 5-6 day week. So Tom Brady the night before, he's making tweaks when he didn't stay up those 80 to 100 hours. So shouldn't they have a problem with that?
Who do you think watches more tape, Tom Brady or all the coaches?
All the coaches.
Stop it.
All the coaches.
Stop
Skip,
it.
I'm not going to let you do it.
No,
I'm not going to let you
I'm
do it.
going to do
I
it
don't care.
because I just
I'm
did
not
it.
going to let you be disrespectful to these damn coaches because you love Tom Brady.
Nobody,
Tom Brady does not watch more tape than
quarterback
coaches. He
in the
does
history
not.
of this league.
Ladies and gentlemen.
So as you hear the conversation, how it's going on already, right? So one thing I just want to critique a little bit with Shannon Sharp here, right? He's passionate what he's saying, right? Mm-hmm. But the way that he's being looked at right now from the outside world looking in, like, oh, look at him, he emotional because he's yelling, and and Skip over there is being his, hey man, he talking normal, his tone ain't high, and all that XYZ. So I can see there, right, the dynamics how it's going, but I can understand where the world looks at it. Oh, we got another angry black man.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
There you go.
But he's being passionate what he's talking about because Skip is trying to convey that Tom Brady is so great at what he does. He watched more hours than the coaches who coach the team, who draws up the play, who call the plays, who watches defense and offense and scheme for the next team each week, got plans, right? Because at the end of the day, yes, the quarterback, Tom Brady, anybody, they got to watch film on the other defensive team to see how they play their defense and they form in XYZ, right? Take notes. When they see him in certain formation, okay, audible out, they usually blitz from out of this position or this form. Cool. But what the coach got to do, the coach got to look at both things, not just the offense and defense and special teams and kick return, punt, all that stuff. Coaches, the whole coaching staff spend many, many hours. That's their full-time job because coaches don't play football no more. Some used to, some don't, whatever, or never did. But they got to watch film to prepare for their players to watch it and scheme around and execute the play for every Sunday. So keep that in mind. But once again, we got Shannon right now. He's on 100 right now. He's I'm gonna say he's going like 70% right now because it's gonna go up.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it gets worse. Right. But Black man, I'm having this conversation with you because I need y'all to see how you shouldn't react in corporate America. Even though what Shannon's saying is not wrong, he's not wrong what he's saying. He's adamant, but you have to understand in corporate America you have to be a certain type of way and be found around other people.
You can't be black.
Right. So he right now he's kind of up there. He's yelling, his hands all flaring, all that stuff. So we'll keep going.
That is a flat-out lie.
That's a flat-out lie that you're perpetrating. There's
no
never
way.
been anything because you can't stand it that Tom Brady at 45 is still playing this game at a very high level.
Yeah. Do you see these numbers?
Yeah.
These numbers say Tom Brady's not playing at a high level.
I need you.
No,
okay, you're
that's
in the
not what
Hall
it's
of Fame
about.
because you're scared to death of him because he's haunted you. Time out. Ladies and gentlemen at home, I would like to announce the fact, if you're new to our show, that this man for 6 straight years on this show that we have been partners at this debate desk has tried to send Tom Brady home, said he's washed up, his arm is in decline, and he should just go on home. It started the first day of this show in September of 2016, and he has been wrong for 6 straight years, and he's going to be wrong again. I'm standing by what I say.
How convinced are you Tom Brady's going?
So you see how Skip paint the narrative, right? He paint the narrative that Shannon Sharp has been hating on, air quote, Tom Brady for as long as they've been on the show, for 6 years since they've been on Undisputed together. Okay? It's funny because if you follow the show and if you follow the people, we know Skip has made a name of himself by hating on LeBron James. But that's a whole nother topic. But still another white man disrespect another black man. But either way, he made his claim to fame is being disrespectful to LeBron, XYZ, whatever. But the fact that he painted the narrative here that, hey, attention everyone, pay attention y'all. If anyone's new to the show right now, I just want to let you know this guy here has been hating on Tom Brady since 6 years, whatever. So right now he's painting a narrative to try to pull everyone in on his side, right? So you create the whole narrative. What does it mean? I mean, let's say that he didn't like Tom Brady or whatever. What did I got to do with the statement was going on in 2022 at that time? Tom Brady's numbers sucked this year, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if it had anything to do with divorce, XYZ, whatever. It doesn't matter. Granted, did he make the playoffs? Yes, he did. A lot of teams made the playoffs. I mean, the Jaguars made the playoffs and they won. Okay, so this is any given Sunday. But the point I'm trying to make is that what Shannon Sharp was saying was still accurate information. He's playing trash. He should hang it up, blah, 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 blah. But as you see the conversation, now it's about to change. It's about to get really more.
Sounds personal at this point.
I'm going to hit play on that.
In the Super Bowl.
Okay, I picked him to win it. I'm not backing off.
Well, put something on it.
Well, what do you mean I put my pride on it? I put my pride.
That's what I would do.
Who did you pick? You picked the Rams and the Chargers, okay?
And the only difference is everybody knows the Rams are bad, but they don't want to say Tom Brady is playing just as bad as Matt Stafford. Off. Skip, they're in the terrible division. They're in the worst division in football.
Good. Are they going to be in the playoffs?
I'm a Falcon fan. I don't have to. That is not the word. You didn't. Okay, I felt some kind of way about that one, Shannon. You didn't have to go there. Okay, I'm sorry. You can go. Good play.
I'm going to play. Sorry, y'all.
Help me out.
Skip,
I need you to
That's your argument.
Okay,
that's your argument.
What do you mean that's my argument?
Your argument is that they're going to be in the playoffs. Is Tom Brady playing bad? Okay. Yes or no?
Yes, he played poorly yesterday.
What do you mean yesterday?
Okay,
all year.
But you're giving him 100% of the blame?
Because you had
that's just, you have no objectivity. It's just straight Brady.
Hold on. As being an NFL quarterback in the league, if your team fails, it solely falls on your shoulders. It is what it is. I don't care how bad the defense is playing. If you're the offensive, if you're the star of the team, the quarterback, which is the face of the league, which Seth Darkchild said earlier about being the face of the team. Tom Brady is the face of the team. The team's not playing well. So, yes, it looks bad on Tom Brady right now. But we said this earlier before we got to this topic. You didn't know I was going this route, but you said this.
I mean, they are. The quarterback is the face of the team. And they do not want people of color because, honestly, you guys don't always hold frame properly. That's the face of the team. Go ahead. I mean.
Okay, here we go. It's about to get...
Hate. Wait a minute. This is just straight hate by a guy who's jealous that he is still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Yeah, that's what you...
Wow. So, Skip, Seth Darkchild just said it.
That was a personal attack.
Thank you. He said he is jealous to the guy who's at the age of 45 who's currently still playing, and Shannon Sharp is 35 who retired, and he's jealous of him. See, now, where in this conversation are we talking about me versus Tom Brady or Shannon Sharp versus Tom Brady? We're talking about how Tom Brady, who's in the game right now, currently playing, and how bad he's playing right now. That's no different from, I mean, that's their job. Their job as sports analysts to analyze the players, the numbers. That's what we do on a daily basis. So Tom Brady does not get a pass because he's playing bad right now. But here's the problem. How dare this black man talk about our GOAT, Tom Brady, at quarterback? That's what I see, and it's what I hear now when I hear this conversation, how it's going back and forth now. Skip is now taking a more personal shot because this is what kind of sometimes what women do in arguments. It's like when they can't prove their point or, point, they go to the personal shot. They take a personal shot. Skip is showing a prime example, fellas. This is how you don't be when you're in an argument. If you can't win your argument, yield.
Shame, insult, guilt. So this seems a whole lot like insulting and needing to be right.
Skip want to be so right. Listen to what he says next to Mr. Shannon Sharp.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No,
Skip, I did what I did.
I never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
Skip, what did I got to see what you do?
Okay, so right there, Shannon, he got you all the way out of character.
Exactly.
He got you hitting different octones out there.
No. He got you defending. You were talking about the play of. It started out talking about Tom Brady's level of play. He got you defending your Super Bowl rings, bruh. you've lost. He deflected you. He straight up deflector-con. And you just went straight on off into the... It was like, what? Deflector-con, and knocked you clean off into the woods. How is he going to come back from this? Can he get back on topic? Was that the end of it?
No, it's a little bit more. But my fellas, listen, fellas. This is how you don't, this is how you don't navigate in corporate America. Mm-hmm. You need, once again, even though Skip is totally wrong with what he's saying, as Shannon, as the black man on the show and one of the leaders in our radio or sports field, got Stephen A. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Clark, Shannon Sharp. We don't got too many of us on our big platform to be on these big networks who speaks from sports sides and speak on both sides and all that.
And this is what you do.
This is what you do. You let a guy who never played professional NFL football like you did. Skip never made it to the NFL. Okay? Let's just start there. Skip has no Super Bowl rings. Mm-hmm. You got 3 of them. Skip doesn't have a Hall of Fame cream or yellow jacket. You do. You didn't have to even go there and go back to his level and be like, well, I'm better than you. You didn't have to say that.
Nope.
What you could have said to him, and of course it's heat in the moment. And as men, I've been there. And in the heat of the moment, it's hard to say something differently in the heat of the moment. But when you sit down, cool out, like, oh man, I could have said this, I could have did that. And it's, trust me, we're all human. But we could have said to him in that moment, like, hold on, Skip. I would have said, like, hold on, Skip. So you're telling me I'm jealous of Tom Brady, who is one of the best quarterbacks of all time, right? One of the best quarterbacks of all time. I'm jealous of him because I'm one of the best tight ends of all time. Mm-hmm. And you tell me I'm jealous of him? I said, listen, first off, we play 2 different positions. So he played quarterback. I played tight end. Mm-hmm. I got hit all the time. Even when I didn't have the ball in my hand, I got hit. There's sometimes plays the quarterback don't get hit. They say, hey, hand the ball off and roll out. Or they throw the ball out before they get hit. Sometimes they don't get hit at all. As a tight end, I get hit on every play. Either I'm blocking or I'm running out for a pass play. Mm-hmm. I'm getting hit every play. There's no day off for me. Mm-hmm. But once again, we're talking about 2 totally different positions. I'm not jealous of Tom Brady. But let's stick to the facts here. The facts are in 2022, when the interview happened, the numbers have sucked for Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. There's no debating that. You can say what you want to say about my career. That's fine. Okay, I'm jealous. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm actually happy for him. But anyway, let me hit play.
Take personal shots.
No, I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
I didn't even understand that.
See, listen, come on, Shan. Look, Shan, that looks so bad, bro. Like,
I didn't even understand that one.
Listen, Shannon. Like, either you gonna get up and walk to the man, not saying you got to put hands on him, and walk to him, tell him, like, listen, man, you gonna stop disrespecting me at this point. But you yell at the table, I'm like, bruh, it looks so bad. Fellas, men, and of course black men, this is how you don't respond to people saying stuff out their mouth they shouldn't be saying, right? You got to maintain your work. I can't think of the words, but you got to stay cool.
Composure.
Composure. There you go. You got to keep your composure because at the end of the day, especially as a black man, you're going to look like the emotional guy, which he does.
And once you start showing it, it's a relationship. It's a relationship. Once you start showing that over emotional response, it's almost no going back. You can't recover from that. And they don't let you. And I say they because Skip doing the same thing a lot of women in our lives have done. You don't get that respect back. When they blow your cool one time, bruh, it just escalates from there. It never gets better.
And just remember, this clip that I'm playing happened about 2 to 3 weeks before the Damar Hamlin issue. Mm-hmm. So like I said, there's a shift going on. Don't know. But let me play the rest of this and we'll be done here. 1 second.
Talking about.
You would take a personal.
Put your glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot at me to say this man is better than me because I say he's playing bad this year?
Well, because you just
Go ahead.
you disrespect him. It's just so. You know what? It's beneath your dignity.
You disrespect me to support him.
No, well, I'll support him over anybody because he's the greatest player who ever played your game, and it's by far.
Have at it.
Okay,
Take off,
I'm going to have at it because I'm going to have at you because what happened yesterday?
Boy, I swear to God, I done had arguments. I used to have arguments with my ex-wife that sounded suspiciously like that. By the time, the worst part is, they'll take you, black. I mean, I don't know if this black man, it's hard to be black, but they'll take you, they'll bend you in a pretzel, then they'll make you look stupid for arguing about something you didn't even bring up. You can't, how are you supposed to defend against a personal attack when the subject that you started talking about, it ain't even about where the attack came from? That's called a deflection.
Hold on. Deflecticon.
Skip Bayless is a deflecticon, folks, and Shannon Sharp has got no. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I like what Shannon has to say. Shannon be going in, but at certain times, like right now, you don't have the mental acuity to dodge these attacks. Skip is better at arguing like a woman than you are. That's all I saw right there.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not a shot, but it's just awareness. Like, yeah, we all can agree. Skip was totally wrong when he said to you and disrespecting you. I totally agree. Mm-hmm. But you have to maintain that differently, because what it does, the way that the narrative that's being shown now is like, okay, as a black man, I gotta let Master say what we gotta say, and it is what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's ways you can properly educate. Another word I want to say, check somebody without being hostile. Because we all know if Shannon Sharp would have got up, it'd have been like, how could Shannon Sharp, who works out and all ripped out muscle, and poor Skip, who's only 180 pounds soaking wet? Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, it's called accountability. You need to be accountable for what comes out your mouth.
Yep.
Especially as men.
As men, yes.
I promise you, this same conversation wouldn't went the way it went if it wasn't behind cameras and wasn't on national TV.
You know what? I want to leave you guys with a quote. I think we should wrap it up, but I'm going to leave you with a quote. This is from Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, not Conan.
Conan the Barbarian, written in a comic book 30 years ago, 40 years ago, I don't know. He said that by far the uncivilized man is more polite than the civilized man, because for the most part, a civilized man doesn't think he will get his head bust open for the things that he say. Well, the uncivilized man knows his life is on the line every time he opens his mouth. Just saying.
Message. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to us today on this Sunday, playoff Sunday. Congratulations to all your teams out there and XYZ. Salute to Mike Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. No, we didn't get in, but I want to say I'm very proud of him going from 2-6 to end the season at 9-8. Huge accomplishment. And also to add on top of that, of not having a losing record as a head coach in NFL history. I mean, he's been a coach for 16 seasons and never had a losing season. A lot of coaches can't say that. So that's still a good badge of honor, and it showed that a team that was Big Ben free. So, because that was the thing. Oh, this is Coach Cowher's team. This is no longer Coach Cowher's team. This is now Mike Tomlin's team fully. Hopefully, the team gets better. But anyway, thanks to tuning to the DaChop Team. I'm your host, twinsinc with
Seth the Dark Child.
We'll be back Sunday next week. I'm working on this video all week so we can have the video. Y'all can see us live in action. Mm-hmm. Enjoy the rest of your day. We out.
Peace.